What's up, guys? And we're back at it again. Today we're gonna, well, continue with our base. I let it run for a little bit of a cycle. They didn't finish much yet, but I'm letting them focus on building this to the end and this, which I will need to get a little bit creative with Otto's digging skills. Otherwise, for now, we're gonna also need to start thinking about oxygen and stuff similar to it. Like, I still have a big amount of oxygen. I don't want to pop the eardrums of my people. It's just that because I also expanded, there is gonna be less oxygen at certain points than others. Like here I have the 1700, here I have 11. Here I have 11, 1200, 1200, and here of course is the carbon dioxide that we're basically feeding down there. Yeah. So that's what's going on in the moment. Then they finished the research, so now we're of course gonna go down here and do this as we planned. As after this one, we will be going here into ventilation, pressure management, and temperature modulation, because that way we get our insulated tiles, which will help with the biggest problem we have in the moment, which is this, which, while it's not the worst thing, it's actually gonna give us water later once we do good stuff, but this is still not optimal, because we still need some kind of temperature protection. And we can now also start going into, well, more power generation. What we have now is basically, we have our coal generator and stuff like that. What we want to do is that these can run automatically, but don't permanently use up the coal, because coal is a very finite resource in this game. If you go here, like, we have good amount, like that's a lot of coal. That's 1200, well, okay, 1200 kilogram of coal, which is a lot, and we have more here. But we still do not want to power through it, because otherwise we are just gonna run out of it, and that's not gonna end well for us, because then we will need to use these, which causes, like, it's also gonna create heat, so we still want our insulated tiles for that. You can see this is now done, so we have a mess hall, which is great. It gives us a morale bonus of 3 once I really get all this debris out. I'm gonna put that on a 9 so that Quinn can just... Okay, now the automation is done, so I'm gonna go here and do what we said. In addition to that, I now also want to start... Oh, wait. We still need... we need our refinement. Forgot that. That's a tad bit more important, because otherwise we cannot get copper. Like, not copper ore, but like pure copper, which would lead to us not having anything to do any automation with. They're now gonna build all the rest of the stuff. Here I have a compost, so that whenever, like, they run out of... Okay. A tip for everyone: put toilets slightly higher on priority, because that way, simply said, they don't clog up. And I do the same with the water for the sinks. It's just easier a bit. And power also slightly higher, and maybe research, and yeah. that should be it. Like, from the compost you will get dirt from your polluted dirt, which comes out of these toilets, which it doesn't smell nice. Oh, and for anyone who wants to know, to like have a bigger view of the base, just press Alt S. That way you can go into screenshot mode, which then makes it go bigger, and you can then look like that. But I do it closer so that you still have the stuff that's needed. And now I have a problem that people aren't doing the operating here. So I'm gonna go on to priorities, and since I think, yeah, pay was the one with operating needs, like, or knowledge, I'm gonna put that just a tad bit higher. So that then once she is done with certain stuff, like, okay, yeah, the cycle is ending, she's gonna do that next. And just so you know, the storage bins just collect any of the stuff in that's there. Like, for instance, here it has 700 copper ore, so it's just gonna do that, which is gonna be helpful for later on. Like, what we're later gonna do is get this this thing with the smart storage part, because that gives us the automatic dispenser, which if you put if there is a specific tile, like, you can just get some water, make a dent somewhere and put water in it, then you can place that automatic dispenser so that it just spits out the things into that, well, spot. That way you have basically infinite storage space. So what I'm gonna do now is, since like basically all the major building up here is done, apart from like this, and I'm gonna still go further up here, even though that's like a hot area. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem later. But basically what I'm gonna do is, down here I'm gonna build up basically it's gonna be hot. Like, it's gonna be hot. And I'm just gonna take that area for power, because otherwise there is no need. So for that I'm gonna just plan two basically bunches below my farming, so that the heat won't directly just rise up there. I'm gonna go ahead and build here and here, because we're gonna put coal generators there. One. And basically what it's gonna do later, at least, it's gonna give us more power, and more efficient power at that, because in the moment what's happening is these batteries are kind of leaking a bit power every, like power leak 1000 joules per cycle, which isn't optimal. For that you have here either jumbo batteries, which do like 2 kilojoules, but they hold much more. Like, here it's 10 kilojoules capacity with 1000 joules per cycle leakage, and here 2 kilojoules per cycle but 40 kilojoules of capacity. But then you have these, which have very minimal power leak, 400, that's less than the normal battery, and have 20 kilojoules of power capacity. In addition to the fact that they are smart batteries, you can put automation onto them and make stuff run better. So now that we have this, we can finally get normal copper. We have that, so we just go back to this. And here, I have neglected the oxygen for a bit. I still have some, but this is by far not enough for the duplicants. So I'm gonna have an oxygen diffuser. They produce 1000 per cycle. They produce 100 per cycle, which basically just means they give enough for 5 duplicants for every cycle. And since I only have 4, it's gonna give me a little bit extra, which is good because I neglected the oxygen for a while. But it's gonna be fine because I still have everything sorted. It's not gonna be a big problem. It's gonna be a problem at some point, but not now. And this I also like to put on a nice 7 because that means it will always be running. And it's in the area that it needs to be because that way it just passes up here and down here a little. This is basically gonna be just a small buffer area. I'm gonna put like a recreation room or something, but it just acts as a place so that the heat doesn't directly just heat up the plants. And here we have 3 dupes. Oh. Honestly, none of them is specifically optimal for me in the moment, so I'm just gonna take the snazzy suit, and this is a very good thing. Like, snazzy suits are great because they give decor around the person that's wearing it, so if you like put it onto someone who is traveling a lot, it's gonna pass by people and give them a slight boost in decor. I think I'm gonna put it on auto. That just seems like he's always traveling to build the stuff and supply a bit. Even though technically Quinn is supplying more, it still just seems like auto would benefit on it because he's also in bad decor. The only thing you need to yet put into account with the oxygen diffusers is they create heat, which, like, it's not a lot of heat, but you need to like regulate that after a while. In the moment it's fine. This is not gonna heat up by much. I just, yeah, have the power problem. What I did down here is basically, it's gonna waste a little bit of energy, like coal energy, like it's gonna waste a bit of coal, but it's not gonna waste as much coal as if I were, like, it's just more efficient because I do not want to overload this while it's not gonna overload anytime soon. I just do not want to put that too strong. So I'm just gonna have this be built out on a slightly higher priority. Here, this is gonna be 6. That way, any and all power will soon be regulated by this thing. And please build the battery. They should build the battery. That's kind of just, so I'm not sure if it's really wasting and like if it's using any of this stuff, but I just always feel uncomfortable when I see that. Yep, because it's like, it's slowly but surely going down, which means that this is not using any at all. Okay. Yeah. Now you see it's filling up this, but this is gonna give off a slight bit more heat than I would like, but it's gonna be fine. The thing you see here, it's like, it's still going down even though this is full. That's what we're gonna try to avoid. And hey, we have a little guy called a Morb. These just like, I don't know why exactly they spawn around these stuff, but they do. And yeah, we have polluted oxygen, which isn't good in the moment. That's why I'm building the stuff so that yeah, we will have to deal with the polluted oxygen sooner or later. The problem is this Morb is gonna be making more, which we do not want. They just like to put more polluted oxygen Wow, I didn't see that they pop when... Okay, that's kind of... But yeah, we have now like a little bit polluted oxygen, which shouldn't be that germy. Like, okay, outhouses are of course gonna be germy, but the oxygen itself is not gonna, like, the polluted oxygen. So basically I want this to be built so that I can create. So what we're gonna need to do now is copper ore. We get for each, like, copper ore, 50 copper. 100 copper ore, we get 50 copper. Which, like, it's not bad, but there are later stuff that are more efficient. We also don't have that much copper, but we have, like, a bunch more in here, like, stuff. So, what do we need? We need to simply count. We have 200 kg, which means we need 4 of these, and we have the wire, and then we need to yet check automation wire. It's 5 per, well, tile basically of automation wire, so we just are gonna have to do 5 because we need 4 for the battery, and then we can use 5 for connecting these two. And I'm gonna put that on a high priority because we just need that to go quickly. We really don't need much else. And okay, now I skipped this part for you guys. He finished, like, they finished the crushing of this. So now, as you can see, I can build this battery. And what I basically want to do now is deconstruct this, which kind of is a waste. I'm just doing this. Just for speed up, I'm doing that. So now I'm just gonna build this, and I have, as I said, I have the 50 extra here. And then this will need to be put, like, I just put some settings on that, and then it just is gonna run every time this is below, when it's 90 or above, it's gonna stop, and then once it's below or hits 20, it's gonna start charging it again. Which means it's gonna be more efficient than this here, where it's just, like, they stop of course once it's full, but this just bleeds, and then they run again, bleeds, and they run again. Like, leaks. Here. Yeah. And basically the nice thing now is gonna be Pia is... Pei is nearly done with this, which means I will be able to do a full, like, outline for our base, for the base, because that way the heat problem I'm having from literally everywhere is gonna be nullified. The good thing here is always I have these pockets of vacuum. Heat cannot travel through a vacuum, so these stuff are basically dampening the effects, because while they're not absorbing anything, they are kind of limiting the spread of the heat in these areas, which is why, like, this is this area is still greenish, while it would have normally, if this were not a vacuum, taken up that space and heat. And we see stuff here. Another subscribe! Hey! What about, why not do that? But yeah, so this is a locker. And normally there are stuff inside. Like, I cannot rummage in the moment they don't have access, and this is chlorine and hydrogen. I do not want to deal with that in the moment. But soon, I'm gonna put Quinn up for some digging, because in the moment, like, it seems that Otto is a little bit dealing with it too much. So digging here, I'm just gonna put that on 1. I don't need him to do that, I just prefer him to do that. And here you see nearly. Okay, come on, build it. Yes, paint. And here, you now have this, which basically means that this is gonna, I'm gonna go put this on 90. Okay, just type 90, that's gonna go easier for you. And then 20. The reason is, like, it doesn't directly stop, it takes a few seconds, so when you put it on 90 it can take a little bit more, and when you put it on 20 that's an easier buffer, so that it doesn't fully run out of power before this starts up again. Which now you will see once this is powered up to basically 90%, it stops, which stops this. And now this is going to take the power, and for that we now just need to connect the wire, okay, up here. That was too fast, and that way I can also demolish these stuff. A higher priority going to building this. Okay, it's gonna be a bit, but they are building the stuff. And hey, more duplicate stuff. So here she got the stuff. I think I'm gonna put it into tinkering for a moment because she doesn't need the field research. Field research is basically for just when we want to analyze this, because that gives us then more details on how long this is gonna run and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just use that point in operation, that way she can really just prioritize these two stuff. As you see, they're going quite quickly with building this, which will now give power to everything, basically. So now we are back at our research. We don't really have much needed, like I'm gonna go further with power at some point, and here fire poles, this is for efficient. I think actually I'm gonna go with that. But in the moment, there isn't much that's needed. I think I'm gonna go after that into decontamination, because that helps with the polluted oxygen. These deodorizers use soil and basically just take up all the polluted oxygen and turn it into normal oxygen. I might then, so I'm gonna go first this just for efficiency's sake, because the fire poles mean you go faster up and down, which with bigger space will be more helpful. Then I go into decontamination, and then I go into artistic expression, because then I can get a sculpting block and basically some stuff to make my mess hall into a great hall. And now, because we have the insulation, I'm just gonna make a plan for what area I want to be dug out and like cut off. So I'm just gonna go here, 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 here. Okay, not that deep. Here. No. Ignore that. I'm gonna build up here. this might look weird for... Okay, need more material, which I'm gonna get while I dig out, because this is all just gonna be sandstone. It's not the most insulating tile there is, but it's gonna do the job for now. And hey, we got people. Nothing really that I need in the moment. Also, loud sleeper, you cannot put them with the others to sleep. And yeah, so I'm just gonna take the omelets. That gives me a boost in food, which is never bad. And a thing you can do, which is good for food stuff, is also that you can basically just put a ration box there. That way, due to the carbon dioxide, it counts as a sterile environment and the food doesn't decay as fast. So basically I'm just gonna put all and that on a high priority and deconstruct this. That way anything and everything is just gonna be sorted in there. Oh, and this raw egg you see is probably due to one of my duplicates putting either this hatch egg or nymph egg in the stuff. And after a few, I think like a cycle or two, then it just cracks and gives you a raw egg. And for anyone interested, we have oxygen again, because now it's all back up to like around 14, ooh, even here 16, 15. And that's basically due to this one oxygen diffuser. It's also now starting to stop because it's at max gas pressure, I think. What was... like, they have some kind of special pressure. Yeah, I forgot where that was. Basically after a certain amount of pressure around it, it won't produce because it's not needed. Which is helpful, but it doesn't go all the time, so it's just gonna be there like that. And yeah. What I think I plan to do yet would be that I'm gonna focus on building this now out, because I do not want the heat to bleed so much more into this area. So I'm just gonna go dig up all of this so that I can do that right there. Like, of course you need to do it yet all the way around, otherwise nothing like that won't be of use, but just need to start somewhere. And I think it's best to start at the main problem of the heat. As you can see, every time I run out and it gives me something that gives me more stuff to build, then I have the stuff again. Like, here I will run out once something is dug up that I can use. It should be like, there should be some dirt or sandstone here. That should let me build again. It's not, okay, I guess it, now it does, okay. And I can just do that. And what I think I'm basically gonna do is just make this like a basin below for all my water. While it's like not good at the start if you like don't have enough space to put these far enough away so that like there is no one going to pee in this water, then you cannot you shouldn't just pool all your water in directly, while that seems good at first, because then you know exactly how much volume of water you have. But like first later down the line, like what I'm doing here, I plan to do this at like around cycle 20, and it's gonna work fine. So basically what I'm gonna do over here stuff, I think I dig up here. This is just gonna be a lot of, I'm gonna make basically just a full plan and show the end result later. Okay, there's not the big plan. I just need to step by step dig this out and make the outline of my base. Yeah. And yeah, that's gonna be it. So that's gonna be it for the moment. We did our power, like more efficient power management. We have a rock crusher, and we have a ration box that is in a sterile environment, which reduces the food's decay rate. Like, yeah, here, sterile atmosphere, 0% cycle, 0% per cycle. The only thing is that it's unrefrigerated, so I would need to put it in there is later down the line, or what I could build directly also if I went there, refrigerators, which basically just give me that ability. So that's gonna be it. I have no idea why no one, like, why is he's not just picking up the suit. He should be. I have no idea why not. Maybe I just need to reload the game and he will do that. And that's what happened in this episode for now. I know not much happened, but technically good stuff happened with like the research and all those things. Apart from that, just need to figure out what to do with these small pockets of water all around, and then build the outline so we don't have such a heat problem anymore. Otherwise, everything's gonna be fairly alright. So, till the next time, basically just peace out. And hey, if you feel like you want to express anything, write a comment. Do like give me a like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it. I know YouTube removed them actually quite a while ago, but hey, you can still do that stuff. I will still see it. So, and if you have any tips for me, something I could improve on, I'm glad to take anything. So just tell me what you would like me to do better, or just do. And say if you like this stuff. Like, I enjoy this. I don't know if you guys do. Like, it would be nice if you did, but I can't know that. So, just till next time. Bye.